Good day buddies. A lot has been asking about our pet fire ant colonies, so for today's video I'm going to do an update on both of the colonies. One of them is living in this overgrown natural setup, and will turn 4 years old in April, just 2 months into the future. That's supposed to be the time I'm making an update, to be honest, but since I received lots of message for this, we'll doing in sooner, as a lot have happened to our second colony too. So, let me start with our experimental pet fire ant colony, which we just started raising 4 months ago, and just last December we've given them an all-transparent ant farm, to make each feeding session easier to handle, as fire ants multiply extremely fast. Even though their founding test tube this time is almost full, we haven't opened the new transparent nest for them yet, since it's still too big for the colony, so we just gave them an additional test tube to nest. In just a month the colony occupied both of the test tubes, which is also coverless now 24/7. So we're getting to the main experiment, which is making this colony live under a light, without any cover but the 12 hours interval of day and night. With the population they have this time, they're definitely ready to occupy the full transparent nest. So we didn't waste time and prepared the setup. And introduce it to the colony. Just the right timing, as the ants also established a proper waste area on the new outworld. This will greatly decrease the chances of them dumping waste on the new nest we're offering, which is now the ants is happily exploring. This nest is designed and built by yours truly for the main experiment we're conducting, which is to train this colony to get used and live under a light. So far so good, as they're still doing good after being coverless for several weeks. We also added a cleansing tower to aid us on keeping the ant farm clean. Anyway, that night on the day of introduction, the colony started moving broods to the new nest, proving that our nest works great for them to move immediately. Moving pet ant colonies is one of the most exciting part of ant keeping. Witnessing one goes successful is always satisfying. Their founding test tube is emptied the next morning, so we disconnect it right away. A portion of the colony which is on the second test tube hasn't moved yet, and it consists most of the young broods and the queen. Which made me think, if this ant species needs a wet nesting area to be able to survive, this doubt grows even more, as the queen and the rest of the colony only moves after the test tube water is depleted. So to make up for that, we added another outworld with water feeder and another cleansing tower, so we can easily replace or refill the water anytime. This will also confirm my doubts somehow, if ever the ants moves some of the broods or even the queen in the water feeder for the longing of a wet area. But as of now, so far so good, as it didn't go that way for almost a month now since their introduction of the water feeder. So, another experiment is waiting for us now to confirm if this ant species can survive without a wet nesting area, which we'll eventually find out in the next few months. If they somehow decline without it, or continue to grow with just the humidity provided by the water tower. So stay tuned for that buddies. Anyway, the ant farm of the colony looks like this right now. Far from their last update, in terms of numbers, as fire ant queens is such a prolific egg layers. I just hope they won't find any weakness in our build that may result them of breaking out, as that would be a real disaster for sure. The queen's spot most of the time is here, near the corners of the water tower. As a proof, we got most of the newly laid eggs on this spot. She's here earlier, but as we focus the camera and the ring light on this spot, she tried to take cover and almost fall doing that. Luckily the vigilant worker saves Her Highness, which is really an amazing event to witness. As of the filming time, we also tried offering the colony their first ever seeds feeding. But we'll be saving that until their next update, so stay tuned buddies. And before we move to the update of our mature pet fire ant colony, let me also say welcome back buddies. And for those new to the channel, you're also welcome to D Colony. It's been 8 months since we did an update of this colony, and I haven't dealt with any major problems with them since then, as they continue to thrive and live a healthy life. As an ant keeper, it's been really rewarding to watch them through the years. As you've expected, in 8 long months, the plants on their terrariums is overgrown. Just look at the massive growth. We can't even have a clear view of the huge white rock we placed on the middle of this tank. Anyway, I trim the plants like every 2 months, to keep them away from the lid, to simply prevent the ants from using them as an escape route. I'm planning to build another terrarium, so I haven't trimmed the plants yet, as I'm saving the cuttings here to plant onto the new one. But if we don't have plans of use on the cuttings, we just casually dump them in the terrarium itself, to dry, decompose, or to be processed by the cleanup crews, to of course return the nutrients the cuttings use to grow, back to the substrate, so the plants can recycle, or use them again in growing new branches. My only worry is their water feeder getting empty, so I really keep my watch on it, as they already destroyed one of this liquid feeders by Formica, especially the version with plastic mesh where they access the water. They break through it whenever it runs out of water, so I really plan on buying a bigger liquid feeders for this colony, as 20 milliliters could only last a few days. Anyway, you can see here from the left that I cut out most of the plants with bigger leaves, or the one named Ficus benjamina. What I'm trying to do here is just keep them on the right side, cause if we let them loose around and cover the whole area, they will end up killing the Ficus quercifolia, or the vines with tiny small leaves. As that what happens on the other tank. We let the plants here to overgrow and contest with each other. The weeping fig emerge victorious as it cover the other plants, depraving them with light supply, which ends up drying the Ficus quercifolia. We tried to save them, so we heavily cut the branches of the weeping fig almost a week ago, to try and give the smaller vines away, but it's too late as they continue to dry out. Right now the weeping fig is again growing new branches and leaves. I'm hoping it won't huff from the heavy trimming that we did, that may end up dying as well. Anyway, the ants are busy somewhere buddies, so we can't see that much from here. Of course that's aside from being tiny, but let me call some of them for you buddies. We'll just tap a little bit here like this, and raging worker ants will come out to challenge whoever messing with their colony. They won't back down, whoever it is, even to the god who created this land. Just kidding buddies, I mean myself, who created this ant farm. Anyway, like what I've told you earlier, the ants are busy somewhere else. And that somewhere is of course on their third tank, or the feeding area, as we just gave them a meal earlier, which this bunch of roaches. It's not actually that much, as we're trying to control their food now. as we're avoiding them to produce too much illets for the nuptial flights this upcoming season. And along with the roaches, we also gave them this sweet protein jelly, which we just featured on our recent short video. And that completes the update of our pet fire ant colonies for now, buddies. And as always, I just hope you have learned something from this video, guys. Be a genie for the first time by granting my wish and tapping the like and share button. That would help a lot. This is D Colony, saying goodbye for now, but hoping to see you on my next videos.